So we're at the science exhibition hosted by Women in Arts at the Rotunda Gallery, and we're just gonna talk generally about our thoughts and what we think about the exhibition. Off the bat, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Not scared to say that. But coming into the space, I expected, I guess, women in arts talking about. I'm imagining somewhat of woman empowerment when I hear women in arts. I mean, when I hear the exhibition called Syns. So I'm thinking, what are the signs alluding to? What is it? I guess I'm expecting something a bit meaty, which is not what we necessarily got, but I kind of understand, or I want to assume that I understand what they're going for. Mm-hmm. They're promoting the woman that they have in the group and the works that they've been creating, and it's actually quite nice to see some of the paintings that have been
created.
Yeah, some of them quite strong. I did enjoy a few of them, but I feel like it's a bit safe. And again, this is not to bash the woman in arts, but this is our critique of how we understand it. I expected a bit more meat in the show. I feel like we have a lot of safe work, and while it's okay to show that, I feel like, I mean, again, it's just my bias, but I wanted something a bit more meaty, though I did enjoy the work. Kind of questioning what the theme of Syns is. I don't really understand that. But how did you feel about the exhibit?
I feel like I did not have any expectations. Okay. So I would say my expectations were met in the sense of a lot of these galleries, when you come here to see Trinidadian art, which is a coconut tree, a palm tree, and that is what I came here today and I kind of saw. Sadly, I wanted to see women's experiences. I wanted to see women's struggles, or what women wanted to see out of the art world, or just their world in particular, through the canvas or through whatever medium they were using. And I did not see that here today, but I would like to see it in the future. I do not know if it is because of the space.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you think if it's the space that kind of dictates the safe idea?
And I would say yes and no, in the sense that we have many galleries that were renamed unnamed for now, that do this all the time in Trinidad, where they take only safe work or realistic work, really, where it's the normal, as I say, coconut tree, palm tree, or the man selling doubles by the bus routes. Yes.
I'd say there's nothing wrong with that, but I think because of this nature of this space and the space that we're in, and you're thinking this is a place of power, you'd want to see works which have some power in them. You wanna, it's a sort of chance to have your voice heard, and
especially because
and because these women now have a voice and they have the opportunity to have a voice, you're expecting to hear something or for a message to be sent on topics that you would sort of expect. So because of where we are, you're in a place of prominence, and you're in a place with a lot of gravity and where a lot of change making is happening. So wouldn't you want to hear something or see something of change?
Exactly.
But it's a really interesting thing to also just see these works, because there's nothing wrong at all with beautiful things just to look at as well.
Yeah, because art can be beautiful.
Yeah. So I mean, this exhibition, Women in Art, they have something to say, and this is what they are saying. And it's a very nice body of work to me, because it's just not reflecting what we expected. So we brought our own expectations, I think. I think it's great that you want to get, as women, you want to get involved. Like, it's good to be part of an organization, and that is what can help you get out there. And it's really good to be part of a group. So I encourage activities like this. It's just what we were expected to see was different.
And don't think we dog in on people who part of the exhibition either, because I know how hard it is to be a woman or just to be a small artist.
It
and
is.
to want your work out there no matter what, and to feel that you have to apply to the normal Trinidadian artist standard just to be noticed or to be in a gallery and to make it and to sell your work, and there is nothing wrong with that. Some people don't have the privilege of making contemporary
But what is
work.
the right work, Mahrinna? I mean, you're
Yeah.
asking her what is to say what you're focusing on and what you're thinking about with work. What is
Yeah.
to say?
Yeah.
So it's also you focus on contemporary
Yeah.
art, but
Yeah.
this is a different kind of art
Yeah, this
which
is-
they're
yeah.
exploring as well. So in a way, makes it right or wrong?
Yeah, that's true.
Because we are bringing our own assumptions to the space. So what we're looking at is what we're seeing is different from what we're expecting.
Yeah.
But what they're exploring is right to them. So
True.
you know,
I think it's because we are fed up of seeing the same thing over and over again. And we're fed up of not being accepted because this is what is accepted. We making this, so this is only what getting, and we not getting because this is accepted. So because all you're painting this, we not getting in. But then realistically, all is not the problem. We just want everything should be able to get in. You know, the problem
why are you
is
saying that?
security.
Just for the because when you say because you've submitted works
Yeah.
before that were
Absolutely.
not selected.
Yeah.
So you know firsthand of
Yeah, I know
what it is
firsthand.
to be filtered out.
Exactly, because
Right,
my
yeah.
work was controversial.
Right.
My work was about mental illness.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was not chosen because it wasn't good. I think my work wasn't chosen because it was because of Trinidadian culture. It might have been a little bit devilish, but at the same time, we have Blue Devil in Carnival. People here painting Blue Devil and thing. So what's the difference? You know what I mean? It could be. It have a lot of nuances to the thing, and it's just like being an artist. It is a way awake, thinking of a lot of things and being like, should I just give up and paint a coconut tree? I know I say the word coconut tree a lot of times, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. Because I guess it's to find space for everyone.
Yeah.
But the thing is, our community isn't that big, so it's hard to really create space for everyone. So I appreciate. I mean, I've come to some exhibitions at the Rotunda before, and I don't know what they plan to do in the future. I haven't been to the most recent shows that they have, but in the past, the work reflected a similar understanding to what we've seen today. It's very safe.
Yeah.
And understandably so because of the location of it, but I like what you were saying when this is a space of making big changes. This is a space where change is supposed to be made, where debates happen. So how can that seep into what is shown here?
Yeah.
One of the curators was telling us about the next show that they're supposed to have. Don't know when this video is coming out, but so that next show is supposed to be on mental illness, and she was talking about how they begin to look past, I guess, the safe work and begin to
So,
challenge
Can't wait to see that one.
those understandings. So I'm hoping the future is bright with Rotunda. But again, going back to that, we have a small community, so it gets a bit hard to make space for everyone. But I think if we accept that it's a small community, so it's hard to make space, we would never progress. So we need to kind of take on that challenge of how do we make space for other people? How do we not just make space for people, but how do we create value with the art? How do we give the art
Exactly.
value? Whether it be through galleries or even through auctions or I mean, to campaign and tell people the work has value
Yeah.
is not ideal. So how do we then implement it? And I mean that just goes down to base level of preschool, primary school. People saying that, you know, if you're an artist you're gonna starve and have no work in art. But when you look at Carnival, when you pay your $5, $6, $7, $10,000 to play mass, that is art. You are embodying art, you know. But so for me, it's always been a weird juxtaposition of people pay $10,000 to jump up in art 2 days, but at the other end don't understand the value of just the everyday objects that they use. The fact that a bottle was designed by someone who has an artistic understanding of how you plan to open that bottle, the billboards, the design of your computer, the design of chairs, everything comes down to artistic interpretation, someone who's creative or understands engineering, but that's still a creative process to design a chair, to design anything that we use every day. So maybe it's because it's so much in our face, it's so everyday that we don't really give it value. And I don't have the answer of how to give it value, but I think it's good to start the discussion.
I think I do, in the sense of we have these curators, we have these companies, we have these people with money who are putting the focus on realism, who are choosing what to put focus on, who are choosing what to put in these galleries, who are choosing, what to put in their space. And they really are who dictate what is valuable in this space. And it's really those people with small artists or artists in general go to and like, hey, can I go have this, can I show this? And they determine, no, this not gonna sell. And they say, hey, I just tell you it's not gonna sell, but in reality they kind of determine it, like they are the ones who will make the market for it. Because if they take a chance as like, okay, I can give you a show, another gallery owner could be like, okay, well, this person had this show for this contemporary artist, maybe I could have one, and then it will continue and continue and continue. I mean,
I guess it goes deeper for them, thinking about finances and how they make
money
and stuff like that.
How much money
so
you want?
We go down a rabbit hole of people could say X, Y, and C, but I believe that just starting the conversation with like these little talks is a good way to begin to understand that. So the fact that now we've said it, we could wait for a response, like who's going to tell us we're wrong. And I accept the feedback and the criticism of everything that we've said, because I think just the lack of conversation makes no progress. So let's talk about it. Let's figure out a way forward and not just spend top in mud.
Yeah, I agree. Because honestly, I have been hurt as an artist over the past 3 years, just trying to get an exhibition going, talking to curators, and trying to get an exhibition going and hearing either my space is not too big enough, which I understand, or your work is not going to sell in my gallery because it's too contemporary, or this or that or the other. And it's like, am I really going to have to go away? I don't want to have to leave my country to sell my work.
Yeah, there's that expectation, or there's that understanding that if you could sell outside, then you build a reputation to be able to sell here. But
it's like, what?
It's I understand it on one side, but on the other side, it's like, this is our space.
Yeah,
we give it value. You don't look at.
I should be able to be homegrown.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, a homegrown artist, Yeah, I don't want to be able to have my first solo exhibition in Miami or something. I want to be able to have it here first.
I guess it's for us to change. It's for us to kind of work towards. I have a few other questions for you. Maybe could you just tell me what makes you an artist? Well, maybe a bit more to that question. Beyond, I could take it from any angle. I kind of just want to understand your point of view of what makes you an artist, whether it's creating work, whether it's showing work, whether it's just the process of creating work.
I think my own personal definition of me being an artist is creating work that moves me forward in some way. So I could create work, like I could make a piece of home decor, but to me that's not art for me. But my art is a piece of work that processes some sort of internal trauma or internal dilemma for myself in some sort of way. Yeah.
So you consider yourself an artist?
Oh yes, definitely.
So if someone was to see you on the street and ask you what you do, you say artist.
I say a contemporary artist or Hollywood.
So have you ever struggled with that? Because I think of a lot of people, especially locally, who you have a 9 to 5 and then you do your art. So you kind of look at the art as your hobby. So when someone asks you what you do, I'm a bank teller. And then make art. It's almost like a struggle to really hold on to the identity of an artist. So did you ever struggle with that?
Actually, no, because I cannot be anything but an artist. And I think that's both a flaw and a successful thing, I could say, because I can never do anything else but things like if I'm not painting, I doing, as I say, a piece of home decor. I doing tufting. I'm making a rug. If I'm not making a rug, I'm making a disco ball. I doing something art related.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your life itself embodies the understanding
Yes.
of an artist. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because even for me, I guess even for myself, I could admit that I struggled for a long time to really claim the identity of an artist. Though I would say I'm an artist. In my heart, it was always a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
So even from kind of putting down my painting practice for a while
Yeah.
to moving into architecture to then painting again, and now finally kind of putting down the painting. And I don't know if I would start back painting or when, but really focusing on doing these kind of documentaries and stuff like that, and recording exhibitions and stuff. I realized that even doing that, I'm still an artist. So
Yeah.
it's weird that I went away from painting,
Yeah.
I went away from design, and I'm just like editing videos now, running with my phone, video and stuff,
And
and just
realizing
talking to
it's
people
still
and
art.
realizing that I feel more of an artist now
No.
doing that
Yeah.
than I even did when I was painting. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to process that yet,
Yeah.
but it's gonna
That's cool.
it's gonna blow my mind
Yeah.
in a weird way. Like I'm proud, or I could state with 100% confidence now that I'm an artist and I'm not painting, but I'm making content, I guess, around art. But even that in itself is an art.
Yeah.
So I like how you spoke about your life.
It's art.
Your life
It's
is
around
that
art.
art.
Yeah,
Your life
it
is the art, and it doesn't necessarily leave you if you're making just something simple or if you're walking down the street.
Yeah.
You know, kind of how I solidified that understanding that I'm an artist with making these videos is that I started to, well, normally I go to the river, but I started to record it. And I didn't realize what I was doing when I go to the river, but I realized that I'm looking at things through the elements of art. I'm looking at things through the principles of art. I'm seeking inspiration when I go to the river, when I go to the beach. And to finally put it in a video, I was like, wow, this is not something I was conscious of until I actually paid attention to what was going on and the experiences around me and how that begins to even affect my painting. So that's kind of why I asked you if there's a struggle there.